thank you. I just submit to you that it matters. You know, it matters what our leaders say and do. You've got great leadership, and I mean it. I've had a chance to work with your leadership. You're blessed with great leadership. It matters. It matters who you put in these positions. It matters what they say and that they've done their homework. You know, can one person change the world? People ask me, well, do you really think you can make a difference? You know, one person, the state is in such a tough shape. Well, one person doesn't do it alone. Certainly one person alone. Bob King standing alone, he's going to have a hell of a time. But Bob King, with all of us standing behind him, Bob King can't lose. He's not going to do it alone, and I can't do it alone. But together, with everybody in this room, I'm telling you, we're going to shake them up. We're going to remind them who's really in charge. We can take this state back for regular working people. My dad came here from Italy in 1948 with 2 nickels to rub together.
Yeah, right.
He left everything he knew, the country, the land, the family that he loved. I've thought about it. Every time I come to Detroit, I think about what was it like. He came through Windsor, got to the Eastern Market, started a produce business, just working on with the brawn and the brain, but couldn't speak much English, and found the American dream. Married my mother, had 5 kids. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. And he got there, I know, mainly just through hard work. He worked hard every day of his life. I remember growing up, first as a produce man, then at General Motors. One thing my dad established was that work ethic. Boy, when you've got an opportunity, you make the most of it. You show up at work. He won attendance award after attendance award after attendance award. And now he's got a modest pension, 85 years old, living in Pontiac. He has a modest pension. He spends that money right in Pontiac, goes to the grocery store, just living his life in Pontiac. But I'll be damned if Wall Street doesn't begrudge him that pension. They begrudge him that health care. They've got a problem with it. See, they want it all for the folks at the top. They want it for the top. They believe, there's a fundamental difference in philosophy here, my friends. I believe that if you take care of people who work hard, that you build that middle class. You know, some people will get rich. That's okay. I don't mind. We don't begrudge that. And some people, but what we want is the opportunity for everybody to have a decent life, just through hard work, playing by the rules, taking care of their family. Isn't it funny, my friends, that we don't have a problem with people that get rich, but they've got a problem with the folks at the middle. They want to just keep taking and taking and taking for those folks at the top. And we're supposed to accept this trickle-down philosophy. This is in my opponent. When they asked my opponent afterwards how he felt about the foreclosure thing, he said, oh, well, leave the banks alone. You know, everything's working fine. The rules are working fine. He defended the banks. I was calling for a foreclosure. See, there are those who believe that if you take care of the people at the top, that's the key. See, if you take care of the people at the top, that some of the stuff might trickle down. It'll trickle down. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of being trickled down. See, we're Democrats, and we shouldn't be shy about it. This is why I'm a Democrat. Because I believe if you take care of the grassroots, if you take care of the folks down here, if you repair those bottom rungs, if you make sure those bottom rungs are good and sturdy rungs on the ladder, and what are those rungs? Education, job training and retraining, neighborhoods that work, schools that work, opportunity, real opportunity for people, even a second chance, maybe adult ed for people, easily available for people who didn't get their degree the first time but want to go back. Maybe a second chance. One of those rungs is a second chance. I'm a Democrat. I believe that when you take care of the grassroots, things will flourish and go up, and take care of everybody. Give everybody a chance. You ever take care of a garden? You know, don't you have to take care of it from the grassroots? If you let things go bad at that grassroots level, you're going to have problems. You're not going to reach the height. The plants aren't going to grow up there. But if you take good care of the grassroots, everything will be just fine. We need to take care of those folks. Make sure those bottom rungs of the ladder are intact. That's what sets us apart. That's what we're fighting for. The Michigan that I grew up in was a Michigan of opportunity. You know, we weren't rich. We were just average. I wore hand-me-downs. If I fell down and skinned my knee, my mom would just work a patch into those pants. That's what it was. We used to wear patches, remember? We'd get those things fixed. I wore hand-me-downs. I was the youngest of 5. I had 2 brothers. I rarely got any new clothes, but we thought we were doing pretty good. And it worked out okay. But the Michigan I grew up in, it was a Michigan of opportunity. My parents and godparents, they told me I could do anything. They told me I could do anything. And you know what? They were right. That's the kind of place Michigan was. People came from all over Europe. They came from the South. They came to Michigan. The word about Michigan got out because we were serious people. We did serious stuff. Man, we were the arsenal of democracy. We made things that went all over the world. People came to Michigan to find out how we did it. They came and looked at our factories. They came and looked at our education. They looked at our Great Lakes. Michigan was leading the country and leading the world. That's the Michigan that I grew up in. That's the Michigan I'm fighting for. Is that the Michigan that you believe in? It wasn't a Michigan just for the few. See, the Michigan I grew up in, even though we were on Navajo and Voorhees in Pontiac in just a regular brick house that my grandfather built, we had the idea, my parents put the idea in my head that we could do anything, that that's the way America was. It didn't matter where you came from, the color of your skin, your name, you know, whether it ended in a consonant or a vowel, but you could do anything through hard work. That's the kind of Michigan, and that's the Michigan that I want. Not just the Michigan for the folks on top. You know, the folks on top, they'll take care of themselves. I've found that those Wall Street types, you know, the lawyers and the lobbyists and all that, the business, they'll take care of themselves, the big business, the Wall Street. But it's the folks on Main Street, you know, the mom and pop businesses that ought to have some support, ought to have some help, the people in the neighborhoods. Those are the ones that need to be looked out for. If we take care of those, then we'll be a Michigan of opportunity. That's why I'm running for governor. I've done the job in Lansing, and no matter what my opponent says, unemployment in Lansing is the 2nd lowest in the state. See, my friends, you need to go out and tell the truth. See, they commit the crime of omission. Oh, the crime of omission, not the crime of commission. The crime of omission. They don't tell you the rest of the story. So they tell you that unemployment went up 88% in Lansing. How much did it go up in Ann Arbor in the same period, Rick Snyder's town? Well, about 100%. It went up 127% in Grand Rapids. See, you know, figures don't lie, as they say. It's the liars that figure. So I want you to know we've done the job in Lansing. I'm not saying it's all peaches and cream, but we got results. Brenda Lawrence and I, we're on the front lines. There is not one thing that these guys, Rick and Brian, can tell me and Brenda about making government work. Not one thing. My opponent talks about government reform. He talks about bipartisanship. He talks about balancing budgets. It's talk. It's just that. Brenda Lawrence and I have been on the front lines making it happen, making sure that the 911 calls get answered, that the potholes get filled, that the garbage gets picked up, and that business grows. We've been doing the job day in and day out. We are in the trenches. We are 2 Main Street mayors for Michigan. We've been getting the job done in our city, and we're ready to go to work for the state. So take a moment and look around. I am so impressed with what you've done here, with what the UAW has done and what you have done. If you look around this room, this is what makes the difference. Channel 7 followed me. We were out on the streets of Detroit, and she said, very nice reporter, and she said, well, how do you think, you know, how are you going to overcome the money? She said, it seems like you're being outspent, you know, on TV. And that's true. And I don't deny it. You know, I try to tell the truth. He is outspending us on TV, and he will. He will outspend us. He will not outwork us, will he? No! This is what he can't compete with. He's comfortable with 30-second infomercials and sound bites. We have boots on the ground. Now, we're on TV, and we'll be on TV, but we'll never match him. Jennifer Granholm couldn't match Dick DeVos. They have more money. We have more people. When I look out into this audience, and I see beautiful, wonderful people, hardworking people that I'm fighting for, but I see vastly more that are in this room, that are in these chairs, because I know that each one of you has a network. You have friends, you have family, you have people that look to you, even people who might not say it to you. They might not admit it to you, but they pay attention to what yard sign is in your lawn. They pay attention to what you say. They may not say it, but you have power. You have power. Did you ever wonder sometimes when you talk to your kids if it's just, you know, even penetrating, if it's going in one ear out the other, you know? We think about when our parents used to preach to us, but you know, they've done some studies on that, and actually when you think that they're not listening, they are. Even when you think they're not listening, when you're saying it for the umpteenth time, they're listening. And I can tell you, my friends, this economy is tough. People are hurting and people are confused, and they're trying to figure out which candidate, which party, how can I improve my life, how can I make things better for my kids? They need to hear from you. I'm telling you, we can make a difference. It's not just about the money, it's about people power. People power over pollster and pundit power every time we can do it. Let's get out there, let's claim this election, and let's get Michigan back to work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Virg. Now, I don't call it angry, I call it passion. So before we bring up our president, ladies, would you tell me we have some candidates in the House who are endorsed by the UAW?
All right, Region 1, are you fired up and ready to work? I mean, are you fired up and ready to work? Okay, let's get on our feet. Let's clap our hands. Let's show our candidates our appreciation. Let them know that we're going to get out. We're going to work with them. We only got a few weeks left. All right. We certainly want to acknowledge all of the candidates that have showed up here today to present to you their platforms, to let you know that they're going to be working for you and to ask for your help. I'm going to announce some that you haven't seen yet, and if you will hold your applause to the end, we'd greatly appreciate it. Here running for the Michigan State University Board of Trustees, we have Dennis Deno. Dennis, are you still here? Okay. Also running for the University of Michigan Board of Regents, Paul Brown. Paul, are you